Today, I decided to rank every single starter Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet from worst to best based on competitive. If you want to see more videos like these, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let's jump into it. All right, the first one to look at is Meowscarada, the brand new grass type starter Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. This mon has really good stats. With a 123 speed stat and 110 attack stat, this thing is definitely meant to just be a speedy revenge killer. Its overall stats are not too awful. They could be worse. 76 HP, which is 70 in both defenses, which is definitely underwhelming, and 81 special attack stat. So it's like 80 is kind of like that cutoff where it is somewhat viable. You can do something with it, but not recommended. Because it's a grass dark type, it has loads of resistances. Resistant to water, electric, grass, ghost, dark, and ground. But at the same time as well too, it has a lot of things that are strong against it because it's grass dark, meaning it has weak to flying, fire, bug, ice, fighting, poison, and fairy. And not to mention as well too, it's a times for weakness to bug and a pure immunity to psychic. So the immunity to psychic is massive, but a times to bug is definitely going to be something that's going to be showing. But on the bright side though, what makes this mon beautiful and change its resistances. One, with Terra, of course, obviously, but no one really runs Terra on this mon because two, it has the ability Protean. And if you did not know what Protean does, it essentially changes its ability based on the move that it clicks. So it's Terastallized, but at home. I say this because it's exactly like it now, somewhat, because it's been nerfed in this generation. So how it's been nerfed is now that Protean only changes your typing once now per round. So before, you could change moves. You could pick your ninja, click spikes, become a ground type, then click water shuriken and become a water type. Now, if you're on Meowscarada, you're grass dark, you let's say click play rough, you become a fairy type, but then if you click, let's say, flower trick, you don't become a grass type, you stay as a fairy type. But on the bright side though, you can switch out, come back in, and it resets. So you'll be grass dark again, then you can click, let's say, I don't know, like Night Slash, now you're pure dark. So it has its pros and cons for sure. It definitely feels more balanced now, and far fall from grace on what made mons like Greninja and especially Cinderace very broken with the abilities Protean and Libero. The mon does get a decent move coverage in order to abuse and use the Protean ability. Low kick, U-turn, thunder punch, gets cool things like T-spikes and spikes, which is very awesome. Power gem, aura sphere, shadow ball, nasty plot. Its Movepool is actually incredibly versatile. It gets so much moves, and I didn't even notice it gets chilling water. Did anyone notice it gets chilling water? So you can become a water type. It's ridiculous. It's genuinely ridiculous. Its signature move, Flower Trick, is incredible. At a base 70 stab move, Flower Trick, it is constantly critting every time you use it. So it's essentially Urshifu 3.0, where it's always getting these zesty crits, and it's phenomenal. It's a very strong move and easily one of the better ones from all three of the starters. The mon is a big threat right now, and it's one of the few mons that is as strong as it is without having the need to go Terra. Now, it not having to go the need Terra could also deter it and hold it back, as some mons like Quaquaval get double stab if they click Terastallize. But at the same time as well too, it changes the typing by Protean. So now seeing all the moves I've mentioned on the vast move pool this thing gets, you truly don't know what the thing could run or turn itself into. Not to mention as well too, it does have one of the best moves in the game, Knockoff, which a lot of mons lost this move. All in all, this mon is very powerful and learns a hell of a lot of moves. And with stats like this at a 123, it's ironically 1 point faster than Greninja. So when Greninja comes back at home, it will be outpacing Greninja. On to the next one, Skeledirge. This one is a tricky one because Skeledirge, everyone on paper thinks this mon is awful when they first saw it initially, because we thought, okay, wow, Meowscarada gets Protean and Quaquaval gets, another broken ability as well too. So Skeledirge only getting unaware while on paper it is some underwhelming. At the same time as well too, it is very bulky. With the limited mons that are currently out right now in the metagame, this mon is actually very strong. So it has two immunities, being normal and fighting, being a fire ghost type. The ghost is severely carrying. It has loads of resistances with fire, bug, grass, ice, poison, steel, and fairy. Steel and fairy are the two biggest ones, and immune to fighting is ridiculous. Three of the most strong typings right now in the game, and it's only weak to water, rock, ghost, dark, and ground. So with Terastallize, you can kind of get around this, but it's incredible on what this mod is capable of doing. It is very bulky as well too, with a 104 HP stat, 100 in defense, and 75 in split def. This mon is very tanky and has this brand new move called Torch Song, and Torch Song is ridiculous, dude. Easily one of the strongest moves I've seen in a long time, dude. Base 80 move. A base 80 move that is constantly every single turn buffing your special attack stat, which is disgusting, and here's why. This mon has the ability Unaware. If you do not know what that ability does, it essentially ignores stat changes. Not to mention as well, too, its common move spread with Will-O-Wisp and Hex is ridiculous, dude. This thing also gets recovered with Slack Off, so this mon just... It feels like he does it all, dude. He gets Disarming Voice, Thunder Fang, Flame Charge as well if you want to run like a weird like offensive build. A speedy build, dare I say. Seed Bomb, Stomping Tantrum, Will-O-Wisp, Crunch, Shadow Ball, Heat Wave. The mon gets loads and loads and loads of moves. Evil gets Earth Power as well too, which is phenomenal for that boosting for the Torch Song. Skeledirge does also get access to both Sing and Encore, so if you want to be kind of cringe, you are allowed to do that on this mon. It's truly surprising me how incredible this mon was. I truly believe when I first saw these stats, I thought this mon was cooked. It was done. The other two get insane offensive abilities, while this one gets a defensive one that's being a fire type, which we all know fire types are not really the best types to be using and abusing defensively, of course, but I am very, very impressed as to how strong this mon is. I'm thoroughly impressed, and I would love to see what more this mon can do throughout when the metagame evolves and we see more mons come from home. Going into the final start now, guys, Quaquaval. This mon is easily the one that I think arguably also catches the most people off guard. I know I was saying about Skeledirge, but this mon is incredible, dude. We have been blessed by Game Freak to get not one generation, but 2 generations where we have phenomenal starter Pokemon, except Inteleon. We have phenomenal starter Pokemon, man. Quaquaval is insane right now in the metagame. This mon is a water fighting type, so it's basically Zesty Blaziken. And if you look at its resistances, resistant to fire, water, ice, bug, rock, dark, and steel, solid resistances for sure. The only unfortunate part though is it is weak to fairy, and being weak to fairy is always going to be a minus in points because fairy is easily the best typing in the game right now. It is stupid. It's also weak to flying and psychic, which is unfortunate, and electric and grass, which electric and grass is going to be mentioned quite often because a bunch of Pokemon currently right now are terastallizing to electric and or grass, as electric only has one weakness, and grass because most Pokemon that are very powerful in the meta are weak to ground and water moves like Chi-Yu and Iron Moth, so they just become grass types. It does actually at least get Brave Bird, which is phenomenal. It gets close combat as well too. It does get access to the brand new Ice Spinner move as well too, which is phenomenal because that move does just completely remove terrains. It does also get access to Rapid Spin and Roost, both which are phenomenal moves. Roost did see a big nerf, an 8 max total PP now, but it's still a phenomenal move to use, and its signature move. Its signature move is what really makes this mon shine. I saw in 4K when this Pokemon was leaked how everybody thought Quaxly lost, and then we saw this signature move. Its signature move, Aqua Step, is a base 80 move that essentially raises its speed stat 100% of the time every time you click it. So it's Flame Charge on roids. We're getting a lot of moves like that. We got Trailblaze, which is essentially exactly like Flame Charge, but this one is a base power of 80. So it's a base power of 80 stab, and not to mention, this is without the rain buff and without the Terra buff, because commonly right now, Quaquaval is being ran as a Terra Water Pokemon that sweeps in the rain and just goes ballistic. It's an insane rain sweeper, and its ability Moxie, it gets an attack buff every time it gets a kill. So with a 120 attack stat and an 85 speed stat, with the move Aqua Steps, it'll be able to buff its speed stat every time it uses it and get a double buff from Terastallize and get a rain buff as well too if it's up in the rain. So this mon just really just brings it home, man. It also gets the move Wave Crash as well too, which is Flame Charge but water, and this move is insane, bro. All in all, you're probably wondering which of the 3 of these mons is easily the strongest, and it's really hard to say because actually all 3 of them are all very strong in their own merits. It's a little hard to say as when the new mons Pokemon Home are going to come in, a lot of how these starter Pokemon are ran and chosen and decided are going to be having a huge shift, as every new home update is a huge shift because things like Landorus and Thundurus and Tapu Koko are all going to be dropping back again. In my personal opinion on what I do think are the strongest in order, I'm going to have to say Skeledirge at 3, Quaquaval at 2, and Meowscarada at 1. I think Meowscarada is currently the strongest right now, but I do think that's going to change because Protean has seen a major nerf. and we currently do not have a bunch of Pokemon like Tapu Koko who does just absolutely milk meat this mon in every way, shape, and form. Currently right now though, Meowscarada doesn't need to really do much in order to do damage, unlike Quaquaval, who while yes has great stats and great offensive stats with a great ability, does need to be in the rain with a Terra Water, and also needs to be at least having an Aqua Step with a Wave Crash. Skeledirge I also think is very strong right now, especially. He's a big wall that's able to stop a bunch of fairy Pokemon, and with the Willow Hex Slack Off build, he's extremely obnoxious. But like I said again, there's Pokemon like Chi-Yu right now who are disgusting in the game, and this mon is definitely starting to fall off the more that Chi-Yu has rose into the meta for sure. If you enjoyed this video, you want to see an updated build on this Pokemon home drops, please be sure to leave a like, as it did take a lot of time to make this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.